more than anything to me. What I enjoy about where I grew up and what I enjoy actually about the state of Utah is I love the natural beauty that the state offers. The freedom to whether just be walk in the mountains or enjoy a nice drive somewhere is very, very valuable. I love skiing, fly fishing, mountain bike riding, because quite frankly, I don't get a lot of time to do those things. I went to the University of Utah, had a great experience there, elected to continue on and do my MBA, and then soon after left and went to work for, at that time, Conoco.
Well, I probably first met Greg in early 1980s. He came to work for me when I was out in California with Conoco.
They had what they called then a management development program that gave you a lot of hands-on experience.
The first recollection that I have of Greg when he first came on out, we were getting ready to have a banquet for all of our drivers that had driven over 1 million miles without an accident. We were taking a bunch of them up from Central California up to Tahoe for a big banquet for appreciation. And so I put him on a bus with a bunch of drivers and mechanics and all union operation. We got up there and met the bus when it arrived, and I was anxious to see how Greg would handle these guys. And he came off the bus and he says, my gosh, he said, we had to stop halfway up and replenish the booze in the bus. He said, those guys drink like fish. But they were all friends with Greg when he got off. He had just met these guys, and all the wives fell in love with Greg, and all the guys came up to me and said, that's a pretty good guy. I think he's going to do okay. And one of the things that always impressed me about Greg is he could relate to everybody.
I personally feel incredibly fortunate that I had the opportunity to do so many different things with so many fascinating people.
After he worked for me for a few months, I said, I don't have anything to offer this guy. I said, you need to move him on to something else.
I was responsible for their global downstream strategy, which included managing the portfolio of assets where we were primarily selling a lot of different things in different parts of the world.
Probably in my 40-year career, I've had a lot of people work for me. I have to say Greg's the sharpest guy that ever worked for me.
So about 4.5 years ago, the board of directors of Tesoro recruited me from ConocoPhillips, where I'd worked actually since I graduated from the University of Utah, and recruited me to come run Tesoro.
When he took this job with Tesoro, I could tell immediately it was going to be something that consumed him.
So when I joined the company back in the summer of 2010, the share price of the company was trading at about $10 a share.
If I could have, I'd have dumped everything I had into Tesoro stock.
Today it's about $75 a share, so we've had a lot of success from that standpoint.
Greg's very intelligent. I mean, that probably goes without saying.
For the last few years, we've been working to really transform the company. Our revenues for 2014 will probably be around $45 billion, something like that.
I think they had their biggest year in 2014 that they've ever had. I think it was 2.1 billion EBITDA. It's pretty amazing.
And Tesoro's a Fortune 100 company. So we've had very, very good success so far.
He puts a lot of time in. He works a lot of hours.
Today, my job is incredibly demanding.
Greg has got to be somebody who is challenged all the time. I think he gets bored easily, so if there's always a new challenge, he's the happiest.
Not only did we want to turn the company around and make it a very profitable, highly competitive company, we also wanted it to be a very healthy company.
He's just dedicated to what he does, gets into it 100%.
My personal belief is that when someone accepts the responsibility of running a company, that you have to be fully committed to do the right things for the company.
I would say 95% of his time is spent working.
I don't have anywhere near enough time.
His retirement will be probably cutting back to a 40-hour week instead of an 80-hour week type of deal. I think his affiliation with the University of Utah is very tight, very close.
I really try to stay connected in with what's going on with the business school.
I know he's been up quite often participating with alumni.
Being able to give back to the university is an important part of coming from the university. First, it's an honor to be recognized by the University of Utah through the Alumni Association as a distinguished alumni. Second, I think what's probably more important is, as being someone that went to the University of Utah, what I can do in the future to give back to the university in a very positive way. And that, to me, is almost as important as being recognized as a distinguished alumni.